Mom. Juliet.
New. What up, everybody? New intro. Back to the old intro. Live music. Probably couldn't tell. Sound like it was in the studio. It's not. It's live. How's everyone doing here in the room today?
Good.
So it's good to be back. It's crazy to think we're on episode 40.
Yeah, it is actually.
I set out a goal to do 100 episodes, and at the time I didn't really know what we were doing, like what I was going to do. I honestly thought, I don't know if anyone even remembers this, but I was doing like 7-minute book reviews, and one of them was just me talking in the rain. Like, I had no clue. So it's super cool to see that we've literally made this show and then carved out 40 episodes of it. I'm
amazed, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that I have that much to say in general.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment, maybe one of the viewers can, how the internet trolls are, or sorry, not trolls, fans are. They'll clip together, go listen to every minute of everything we've said, and just maybe clip together some nice memories of the first 40 episodes, and I don't know, just that'd be fun. So if you're a fan out there and you're looking for something to do, maybe
do an edit for us.
Yeah, do a little edit for us, a little fan audio clip thing. Yeah.
Does that exist? Is that a thing that people do?
Well, I mean, probably now.
Just for us, they would.
And let's be real here, after being on the amount of podcasts we've been on, it's fair to say that a lot of the time you talk and can't remember. Someone will come up to you and say something, you're like, yes.
Oh yeah, so many times. Also because we're normally a little bit tipsy when we do this, so it's people come up and they're like, oh, you said this, and I'm like, fucking did I?
Yeah. I like to prefer
know.
that we're a little lit up, but yeah, it definitely is a thing. Anyhow, tell us about your weekend. How's your week since last?
So I had a really fun weekend. I went to Rachel's bridal shower.
Nice.
Which was so fun, so nice. I've never been to a bridal shower before.
Okay.
So I didn't really know what to expect.
So you just watch Rachel shower?
Yeah, that's basically it. She gets butt naked.
Whoa, what?
The rule is you can look but not touch.
Whoa, what? And Armand was there? And you brought Juliet?
Obviously, yeah.
What the hell?
Anyway, it was actually really nice, and it's Rachel, so it was super fun.
So what happened?
We had
are
this.
You allowed to talk about it?
You can't talk about the bridal shower.
Okay. Whoa.
No, but we had this really fun contest where we had to swing hot dogs, and you tie a ribbon around your waist and then tie it down, and there's a hot dog, and you tie a hot dog to the end of it. Okay. And then you have to try and pendulum swing it into your mouth.
Did you get it in?
No.
Is it hard?
But it was really funny because Juliet came up to me and she just picked the hot dog up, and I'm like, put it in Mama's mouth. So I did have a little bit of extra help. And then Rachel, there were these photos where we were throwing hot dogs at Rachel's mouth, and she was trying to catch one in her mouth.
Yeah, you sent me that one. That's hilarious.
And I sent you one because I just thought it was hilarious.
That's so awesome.
But it was cute. Armand came out and surprised her, and he did another proposal. It was so freaking cute. Honestly, it was just such a lovely experience, and Rachel deserves it because she deserves the whole world.
Rachel is lovely.
Yeah, she's the best.
Nice, that's awesome. And how's Jay at it?
Jay had a lot of fun. She was a little bit crazy because she missed her nap. Mm-hmm. But then Rianne's daughter Harlem was there, who is a few months older than Juliet, a couple months older. And I remember because she was born the day of our baby shower. Because remember, Rachel could only stop by for a little bit. It's because her
Right.
Her cousin's kid had just been born.
Priorities, Rachel. Priorities.
I get it. But yeah, Harlem was there, and her and Juliet are going to be flower girls together. So they were just like kind of like playing, but it was really funny just watching these two toddlers just like stare at each other and they don't want to interact at first, and then they kind of get a bit more comfortable and they're like playing together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cute to watch, and I just had like a really lovely time.
Nice, that's good. Yeah, that's sweet. What did we do on Sunday?
What did we do on Sunday? Did we go out for brunch? Was that this Sunday or was that last Sunday?
That was last Sunday. Well, I'll tell you a story of my Friday.
Yeah.
So I went and did the like cold plunge thing, therapy.
Yeah.
It was nice, but it's always so weird being in those things because there's always like I don't know, sometimes you go it's quiet, sometimes you go it's normal and people are talking, sometimes it's like people are just talking about like so much about cold plunge. And so when you go do it, there's these hats you can buy and they look like little Smurf hats and they're made out of wool.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
No.
Yeah, and like people wear them because supposedly when you're in the sauna, because you can pour hot water on the thing and make it steam up.
Yeah.
Supposedly if you're sitting there and someone puts too much hot water, it like gets your head too hot, and then you wear that thing and it allows you to like stay in there longer, something like that. But like so many of the people in there were wearing them, and it's like this weird cult. Like I just show up there and I'm doing it and they're all in there, and I was like looking around, they're all like, yeah, these hats are so good, without it my head just burns so much in this steam room. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I've literally my entire life gone in steam rooms and saunas, and at no point have I ever sat there and been like, my head's burning. Like, it was just weird. They're all wearing these little like Smurf hat wool things, and I'm just like,
you just walk in, you're probably like a little bit blazed as well. Yeah. So you're just like, why the fuck are all the Smurfs in the sauna right now?
Yeah, and then the cold plunge itself. Okay, there's this larger woman, like fairly large woman here, and she was going to school here, and she's from Winnipeg, so Manitoba, and and she's like, yeah, in Winnipeg we kind of have something like this, but it's more like a thin waterfall you walk through that's cold, and then you go in the sauna. And I was like looking at her, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder to do this than walk through a little thing of water. And so she was like doing it, and I was like, just go in and just do it. And she was like having the hardest. I was like, Jesus Christ! And like most people that get in just kind of get in, they're like, yeah. She was like, oh my God, and, like freaking out. And I was just like, I was trying so hard not to laugh.
To be fair, when I did it for can't remember whose birthday it was. I think it was maybe Roger's birthday. We went to Tality and did it. And all the girls were just like getting in and doing that cold plunge, and I was like, fuck that shit.
I can do no problem.
No.
Nicia, apparently
she
did like 7 minutes in the coldest one.
She's hardcore.
That's fucked up. That I can
there might be something wrong with you.
I can do 3 minutes.
Sorry.
I think if I was like to try and really push it, I could go like 4 or 5 minutes pretty easy. Probably 5 minutes. Like when I say easily, like I'd get there and that I could get out. Except if my wrists and hands go in, because like the whole thing of like, do you know the stages of numbness? Have I explained this to you before? So it's C-PAN or C-PAN. Or C-BAN.
C-SPAN.
No, PAN.
C-SPAN?
No.
Like C-SPAN, like on the dogs there.
C-PAN.
C-SPAN.
No.
Oh.
So it's like when you first get in cold water, it's obviously cold. So that's the C. And then it's burning or pain, depending, and the reason that's why the P or the B is either, because they kind of are the same thing. Some people say it's burning, others will just say it's like painful, right? And then it goes to aching, and aching is the part that's hard about getting numb, because that's when you're actually like, oh my God, like my body aches. You really want to like just get out. It's super painful, and then you go numb. And once you're numb, you actually can just sit there and just kind of breathe and be like, oh, I'm okay. You don't really like feel anything. So that the thing is getting to numb. And that's what you always have to go through. You get in, you're like, okay, it's cold. And then you'll start noticing, you're like, okay, it's like, for me, it goes burning. I don't get pain, but I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling this like weird burn. It's kind of like on my skin more. But then you get that deep ache. And that's really when you have to like settle to your breathing and just be like, it's going to go away soon. But I can't get if I put my wrists or hands in the water, I think it's because of my job, the amount of like compression and inflammation. They go in and they just keep throbbing and they never stop. And I've been in there for like 2 minutes and it's so painful and throbbing that it's just like, I can't bear it. So I do everything except my hands and my head. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think you could hold your breath for 7 minutes either, so it's probably good you don't do your head.
I dunked my head at the end, and it's crazy how, like, I don't know, it's wild how cold water can send your body into such an emergency state.
Yeah.
Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, but like you haven't seen the one at in the shipyards, but it's basically the same thing as the one you went to, but instead of it being outside in like tin, it's like all indoor and like really like brand new nice stuff, right?
Nice.
So you like walk in and you're like in this like safe, warm, cozy space, and even the baths look really nice. There's like little trees around them.
Yeah.
And then you get in and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm dying. Why is no one helping me? Oh my God. Oh my God. And then you're like, wait, calm down. You're just sitting in some cold water in a tank. There's a whole bunch of people around you, but you're like, your whole body's like,
It's fight or flight though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun to calm yourself. It's really meditative.
No. It's not for me, I don't think.
Straight up, I think if you were to live in a world where the government was trying to genuinely fix the healthcare system and make like a cost afford or not, they were trying to like make it the most beneficial for people, you'd have to switch from a reactive to a proactive. And a huge part of a proactive, I think, would you make those things like huge saunas with those cold plunges, and you just make it free to the public. And you do it, and it's like, it's so good for your health. I know you think that, but it's like,
Not for me.
It's so good for you.
I did it actually saying that though. I went to this like incredible spa in Egypt when I went to Egypt, and literally it was the best experience I've ever had in a spa. It was so good. They did this like crazy like goat milk scrub or something, like your whole body, and it was like so fucking relaxing. And then to get it all off, you like, they have this super deep cold plunge and you just like jump in.
That's so sweet.
And yeah, it was awesome. They had like these hot showers, like steam rooms, like the therapy we got was just amazing. I think it was actually a Turkish spa.
That makes more
Egypt.
sense, because Turkish is like, they know how to do it.
It was incredible. Like, it was so freaking good.
Yeah. I mean, do you know why I bath on the super hot baths all the time?
Yeah, something to do with like making your body better, like handling shit.
No, not at all.
It's something for your health and your body and your well-being.
If you do like steam or sauna or hot bath, like something that really gets your heart rate up like that, for 20 minutes, 4 times a week, you have your all-cause mortality drop by 40%. So think of that. If you could take a pill that made you 40% less likely to just like die of random causes, wouldn't you take that?
Sure, I guess.
So that's why I do it. It's super good for your heart and your health to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it is. Don't say maybe, it is. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyhow, that was sweet. And then I was what I was trying to do, and I was pretty proud of myself, other than that woman that was sitting, like, she was like freaking out about getting the thing when I was like next to her in this cold plunge.
Yeah.
We talked. I just really wanted to go and not talk to anyone for a bit. And I literally didn't. I was just like sitting in there and just like doing my own thing.
That's a rarity for you.
I know it was. And it was nice too. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go and to what's that one? Catch 122 or something?
Catch 122.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to go there and have breakfast to just kind of like read my book. And I, again, just didn't want to see anyone. And then, of course, the Crawfords and their friends, the Jansons, that are like all people that are like, oh, Derek, oh my God, you want to come and eat with us? And I was like, oh no, good to see you. And I talked for a bit, obviously. But then they were like sitting like 2 tables away and were like, oh, you should come with us. And I was just like, really didn't want to sit down and talk with them. So I was like, no, I got to get going. I'm just here for a quick bite and then I got to roll out. Yeah. And of course I ordered a mimosa flight and it had a book with me. So it's like, no, I'm in a rush. And then they're like, sir, here's your flight of beer, mimosas. Sounds like you don't have much to do today. Like, from what you said, I'm like, no, I think that's someone else. And they're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, no, don't take them away. Yeah. They're here now.
Yeah, I actually, although I appreciate your ability to talk to everyone wherever we go, I can't comprehend that because I really value that alone time, and I think it's important for you to have sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's...
you're saying, or just in
like,
general?
Just like as a general.
Yeah,
just like a people, I think it's really important to have some time, like, to yourself with your thoughts where you get to, like, chill out and do that.
Yeah, it was just nice being alone for a bit. Not just doing, like, stuff like that.
Being away from my bitch party.
No, just everyone.
Yeah.
Including you. No.
But most of all, just you.
Just you. Okay, let's see here. I got... Oh, yeah. Okay, so... This is just so bizarre to me.
Okay.
You know how much I don't like Justin Trudeau and all his, like, how he was, right?
Sure.
So, like, I just see, apparently the royals are here, or kings here.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I only found out they were here because I saw an article about Justin Trudeau's shoe faux pas. And it's, yeah,
what?
Yeah, exactly. He's like sitting like a couple seats away from the king and queen.
Yeah.
And he's there with his mom, and he's wearing a suit, and he's wearing some like green and red or orange Adidas like velvet shoes. Like, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's bizarre he's wearing them. You're kind of like, you chose to wear those, but at the same time, it's just like,
that's what you care about.
Yeah, like just shut up and leave the dude alone. Like it's just so stupid that's in the news. Like.
It's honestly ridiculous.
And I'm just like, this is what we're talking about. The royals have shown up and we're talking about Justin Trudeau's shoes, the former prime minister's Adidas shoes. And I'm like, it's just so dumb. Go do something. Just go. Whoever you did that, you're fired. Yeah. You're off the job. And when you go, why? I'm going to slap that paper down in front of you and go, this is nothing. This is nothing.
Yeah,
get out of here.
The fact that anyone like bothered to report on that is just genuinely insulting.
And guess it was everyone. It was the Canadian press, like the official like.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it wasn't like some like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is. But it also made me happy. I was like, I'm so happy I'm not reading this because like.
But also, Justin Trudeau, that's what you get when you put censorship on Canada. We can only report Canadian dress. Okay, then we'll fucking report on your shoes, bitch.
We're not allowed to talk about anything else, so we have to talk about you.
And your Adidas.
So yeah, that was basically like that to me. It was just another example of I like go back and I look at the news and I'm just like, okay, just don't worry about it. You didn't miss anything there.
Yeah. No, the news is just kind of ridiculous now. I told you, so when I open up a new page in my work web browser, I use, for some reason, people find it really weird, I use MSN browser.
Why?
Because it was the one that was on the computer when I got it, right, and I'm not like some people are really like particular about their browsers, but like I don't give a fuck. So I open it up and it's like the MSN news page, and it's just like so much fucking random ass shit like that no one cares about. It's like Facebook. It's like the which of these movies were hot or not.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so weird.
it's like a gossip column.
Facebook, okay, just Facebook is wild. That's what it really was. Remember?
Yeah, take this test to see which character you are from The Simpsons.
Yeah, and we all did it at
We
one
all
point.
did it.
Yeah, that's what. It's so crazy.
Who were you?
I think I was that really crazy smart rich dude.
Monty Burns?
No, remember the one that was evil and he was like the supervillain and he was like he was super rich and cool and evil.
Monty Burns?
No. He was like a young
The
dude.
Simpsons?
Yeah. He was like an action movie evil hero guy. Or evil guy.
No.
Yeah.
Who?
I can't remember his name, but I was him. Like you just if you don't know who he is, I'm not going to explain it.
Okay.
Be able to explain it. Who are you?
Mo.
You were Mo?
I'd probably be Mo.
Well,
I was like, I can't actually remember, but like, if I were to take a wild guess, I'd probably say Mo.
Is Juliet up right now? I keep hearing what sounds like baby sounds, but it might
Yeah,
just be me
she's
farting.
goobing and gabbing, but she's not like awake.
Oh, okay.
She's just tossing and turning.
Yeah, it's so funny. So I had my client in today, that one that's the young guy that he like didn't game, but he started gaming because his parents got him a phone.
No.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
He's just a client I have told you about him.
Okay,
Anyhow,
maybe.
so it's so funny. He's this kid, and he's like talking about how
I know
he used
exactly
to
who
play
you're
like
talking about, yeah.
generic like all these like action games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so funny. I'm like, so dude, what are you playing now? And he goes, yeah, I'm playing like this game. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a farm simulator game where you just like we all did Farmville. It's basically Farmville. And I was just in my head laughing. And he was like explaining it to me.
Yeah.
And he was explaining why like it's cool and it's addicting, but it's like different from normal games, blah, blah, all this stuff. And in my head, I was just like, it's just full circle. It's just full circle. Like
full circle.
no matter what, everyone just wants to farm, but not actually have to do the actual difficult things in farming.
I just want to have to click on the screen.
I loved Farmville. That was a fun time.
I never got into Farmville.
It was they were the biggest time suck games because you would like
You have to check onto them as well,
every
right?
couple hours,
Yeah.
and then you would inevitably like want to play it more. So you'd like do your whole field. And then you'd be like, okay, I got to go wait 4 hours to get everything. But you check back every like 15 minutes, even though you know nothing will be done for 4 hours.
Never had that. Never had
Simpsons
Farmville.
Tap and Go. Did you ever play that game?
No.
It was basically the same thing as Farmville, but you were in Springfield and you just had to build everything. And it was kind of like you could get them all to do chores. So it'd be like get Homer to like do some errands, and then you'd come back in 3 hours and he'd have like done some errands, so you get some money, and then you could build new stuff.
No.
Yeah, it was a weird, like those games were so addictive. Joanne still plays one like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's this mouse one, and she's literally, since I've met her, she plays it so much. She must be so good at it. Do you remember the handheld game? God, I think it was called like Command and Conquer or something.
Nope.
Okay, so there's this one game, and it was a handheld, and it was way back in the day, and it was one of those ones where like it was basically the same thing as Farmville, but it was like one where you built an army and attacked other armies.
Yeah.
My ex's dad got addicted to one. 1 second here. Okay, so this is wild. Okay, so he kind of just like he was the safety guy, and something happened, so he was like on long-term disability, but his disability, it was like something traumatic happened at work, so he was able to just kind of like hang around.
Yeah.
And he literally would just sit on his balcony, and it overlooked the main road to all of Kitimat, so all the cars pass through there all the time. He'd just sit there and chain smoke and go on his phone all day. And he'd smoke like just nonstop weed, literally just like weed in one and cigarette in his hand, just like be on his phone. And I'd always go talk with him and just like hang out. But like, I just like when someone's on their phone, you don't really look at what they're doing. Like maybe I look over and I see her on like Instagram or whatever, but you don't like like this and like really like zone
Yeah.
in on what they're doing, right? And so I just always was like, okay, whatever. And then like I was reading this book on Russia at the time. I obviously would go on my phone too sometimes, but I was always just like doing stuff because in their backyard I'd like make fires and do all this
Yeah.
weird stuff you can only do in the north.
Yeah.
And one day his wife came home and she was like, because she like got all the bills and everything. She's
Yeah.
like, Kevin, where's this like $3,000 gone? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just something I got on my phone. And she's like, okay. And I just obviously didn't like think much of it.
Yeah.
And then the next month she's like, Kevin, freaking out. She's like, Kevin, there's $5,000. He's like, what? I'm like, gets all mad. He's like, I'm fucking playing and doing my thing. Just leave me a fucking alone. 1 month, he spent $10K in 1 month. And all it is like things like, so when you're playing those games, you can like set everything, then you have to wait 10 hours for it to go. But then as soon as it goes to the 10 hours, you can spend money to get these tokens that makes like the 10 hours go faster. So in essence, you basically like can play the game nonstop instead of having to wait for all like, because the 10 hours is like the reset. And he was just sitting there. My only thought of it was he was just like so addicted and had nothing to do. So he was just literally like just sitting there spending his money, not having a clue that he was doing it like truly. And they had to actually like take his phone away from him, and he wasn't allowed to use his phone because he was so addicted. He would be like taking it and like playing and shit and be like, I've put so much money into my army, I need to play this game. And like the whole time picture, I'm just like in the background, like I'm just not touching this one.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. I've heard like stories of people that do some really fucking crazy shit though. Like, I went to uni with this guy and his mom had like a shopping addiction.
Okay.
And I know that sounds like you're like, okay, shopping addiction, but like I saw that. It was
Tell your story.
it was so whilst we were at university, he found out that she had basically taken out credit cards in his and his sister's name and maxed them all out and fucked his credit score. Like that's like forgery. That's like,
surely he could like prove that it wasn't him though. It's right. Or did
yeah,
he...
but it's also his, like, it's his mom.
Yeah.
So he's not like, because that would
So,
be like a fraud case.
So is she like buying like clothes, or is she buying like, I got another $4,000 thing?
No idea.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
Super messed up, right? And he was like 19 at the time. His sister was still in school. She was 16. And she's
Wild.
just,
Wow. Well, I guess that makes sense
it's
how she
so
could do it.
fucked.
Hey, your mom's
Yeah.
like, hey, for your graduation, I need you to sign this paperwork. Oh, thanks, Mom. Why?
No, but she just forged the signatures. Like, they had no clue.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
That's wild. That is super
But
wild.
that's like, that's literally addiction though. It shows you how like addiction completely alters your mind. It doesn't, like, you're obviously not thinking right when you're addicted to something like that.
So speaking of addiction, can I tell you something that I've just started to realize that I think is really sad?
You're addicted to heroin.
Well, that would be sad, but no.
But no.
I'm not going to go into the why I don't think I'd get addicted to heroin, but I just, heroin's just not on my radar.
Yeah. I mean, fair.
Barring like extreme circumstance, I feel like it's not a average person does some heroin.
Yeah. You're not a big needle guy either.
No, yeah. Amongst other reasons, it's not just the needle. It's like, why don't you do heroin? Well, I'm afraid of needles. What about the heroin part of it? Okay, so I'd say, I don't know if it's my favorite content I watch, but it's got to be in the top 3 is Bob Does Sports, that golf one.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing with Bob Does Sports is I watch their YouTube channel, which is a weekly golf one, and then they have their sometimes it's every week, sometimes it's every 2 weeks. They have their podcast, and then Bob and Joey Coldcuts, the guy from Burnaby that I really like, they have another podcast. So I like with another guy, and I listen to all of them, and I just like them. It's like the golf thing is cool, but because I like to watch it, but they're fun to watch, right? But it's weird because basically when I picked up on Bob Does Sports, Fat Perez just joined, and what they were was, there's these two guys, they were really bad golfers. They were kind of these little like low key famous guys for playing bad golf and being like, Bob Does Sports, right? And then they had this guy, Fat Perez, that just saw them, and let's say they're around like 500,000 viewers at this point, or maybe not even less. He's this big fat dude with a beard and a mullet, and he's balding, and somehow he's actually like an ace golfer. So he just shows, he's like, hey, my name's Fat Perez, can I play? So he shows up, and they now like are on like Callaway PGA Tour like thing, so they're like really big. But with that has come like way more money, way more sponsorship, like just everything more. And I feel like I'm starting to watch them like spiral, because they're like always fighting with each other. It just doesn't seem like a lot of them like each other. Like they're always calling each other out. And as the show's gone on more and more, they've become like really into gambling. And there's two things they do. So when they do golf things, they will golf, but a lot of the times they'll do challenges like, we're going to eat like 50 tacos in 9 holes of golf, or we're going to drink
I mean, that's what I was going to say, is like, how boring is golf that you need to do that to get people to watch it?
Well, that's kind of why it's fun. Like,
that's irrelevant.
And then they like drink a lot and party, which like on one hand, hey, like no problem. I'm not like judging you like you do that, but it feels like to me they're doing like all these vices and starting to hate on each other, and they're like, there's a big blow up on the one I'm watching, and they're all pissed at each other because they all gamble all the time, like on sports betting, and they're like getting mad because this one guy like was like, I don't know how to explain it, but anyhow, it's just kind of sad to see. I feel like I'm watching these dudes I really like become really addicted to gambling and alcoholism, and like it's making them all fight, and it's just sad.
I mean, I think that's kind of part of the part that comes with the fame and the money. Yeah. And especially if it's like, that's what you started out doing and you were doing it for fun, but then it becomes your career and you like have to do that every single day for content, like, and you have to spend all this time with those people because you're doing it for your content, which is your career. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of stuff that started out like that on social media actually gets really like dark and toxic. Weird.
It does. I agree. That's one thing that the first
like Mr. Beast got really dark and weird at one point. Yeah. Like I think that whole fucking TV show he did, I'm like, I don't think that's like a cool thing to do at this point. You're just basically like trying to play God and play on people's emotions, and like that doesn't seem games. Right to me.
Yeah. Just like, throwing money, like, let's see how much you choose money over people kind of thing. Yeah,
it seems kind of like putting like fucking mice in a cage and making them fight for cheese. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, for me, that seems kind of like not a cool thing to do.
You know, I've never really thought of it that way before, but you do make a good point. And it's kind of weird because Mr. Beast really has made his whole thing off of just kind of
generosity. And
but
I know, like,
no, I was going to say, but kind of like doing like, yeah, I guess generosity, but it is kind of this thing of like, let's dangle money in front of people and
see what they'll do.
What happens, and people are like, yeah, look it, yeah.
And that also like makes me feel bad because I have no doubt that he probably started with really good intentions, and I know he's done a lot of like philanthropy and stuff like that. But at this point, his content is making people do stuff for money, and it's giving like Squid Games is giving.
Yeah, well, that it is yeah, like
it just seems kind of like morally not okay from my point of view.
I feel like I can pinpoint the moment it turned for Mr. Beast was when he started, like, he was, like you said, he was doing it all like goodness of his heart, but wanting to get the views, right? And it was all good. And then he started Mr. Beast Philanthropy. And I want to say he like gave sight to a whole bunch of blind people that just needed surgery.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally posted in the chat I was in saying, how sweet is it to see someone doing just good things with money?
Yeah.
And right away, someone had to retort and be like, he's not doing it for the good of people or care. He's just doing it for more money and likes. Don't kid yourself, blah, blah, blah. And like just shit all over the fact that he went and gave like, I think it's 1,000 people like the surgery you need to.
Yeah.
And it just, if you're Mr. Beast, in my head, I was like, this might be the moment that did him, is when he was doing that. And then like the internet just starts shitting all over him like, for doing it. And you're like, I could understand why you might be like, well, fuck it then.
Yeah, to be fair, like I think you can't like discredit the stuff that people do like that. I think that you should still give him a lot of credit for like giving his own money that he's made towards doing that. I think that's a really like honorable thing to do. But in the same breath, when it gets to stuff like the Beast Games or whatever, it doesn't feel like you're doing it out of the good of your heart. You've just made this like crazy deal with a streaming service to make an original series. You've built a town in the middle of a desert, literally like a fucking like lab rat maze. And now you're getting all these people who could like really fucking use this money to compete against each other and backstab each other. And I'm just like, that seems really like morally corrupt to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we only watched 3 episodes of it, but in those 3 episodes,
it was enough to make me know that I didn't want to watch anymore.
There was 4 people standing in front of like 500 or 600, and there was a ticker going up, and all they had to do was push a button, and they would eliminate a quarter of the people, take the money, and go to the next round. And it got to $1 million, and no one pushed the button. That's pretty crazy. I will tell you right now, if I saw that thing get up to $1 million, I gladly would have just been like to all those people, like,
yeah, yeah, and so would I. But I don't think that's like, I don't know. I don't think that's entertainment. I just think that's like a flaunt almost. It's like, okay, so this is one thing that I've always thought is really fucked up. When you see those videos online of people like going out and buying a meal for a homeless person, and it's like would you have done that if the camera was off? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's very kind of like, look what I'm doing and look how like good I am.
Yeah, well, that's always annoying. I hate that.
Yeah.
You want to hear a crazy fact I heard?
Yeah, give it to me, baby.
Okay, so this goes into there's a theory that that the world's population, I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I just thinking of it now, but I just read it as a thing. It's not, they weren't stating it as a fact. It's just like a thought more than anything, is the world's population. So we're at like, what are we at? Like 8 point something billion.
Yeah.
Can you just look it up? Ask Siri.
Hey, Shaniqua.
Yes. I mean, yeah, baby girl. What you want, y'all?
That's slight racism.
Sugar, you don't know the slide of it.
How many people are in the world right now? How many people in the world?
On the world.
8 on the world?
What is it?
It's 8.062 billion.
So what it was
in 2023.
What it was basically saying, so 8 billion we'll say. Basically what it was saying is, we can't, how do you know that? Because like, did you get
count them individually?
But think of how many people, you go to India, for example, they say they have like 1.4 billion people there. But how do you know? There could be people in the rural thing. It's just saying that like, we just don't know. I just feel like I'm skeptical.
It's a guesstimate.
Yeah, it's a guesstimate. And we don't know. Like, we just don't know. But what I thought was interesting was this was actually coming from a professor that was teaching, so I think it was paleontology or something like that. But did you know that the entire world's population could fit inside Texas if they built with the infrastructure density that China does? So you know how China's very like stacked together. Isn't that crazy to think? Just Texas, one state, if it was built like the way China was, you could fit the entire world's population in.
That's pretty crazy.
That's so wild, hey?
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no wonder like China's been screaming about like their population since before us, like since the 70s, I think it was.
Yeah. I just think that I don't think the planet's overpopulated. I think the problem is the entire population lives in just highly dense areas, which makes sense. That's just we're like those kind of animals, right? But like there's so much space to do stuff. It's just,
especially in Canada, dude.
Yeah.
Like Canada has so much land. So much land. Like it's fucking insane. I can't remember the statistics, but it was like something ish of like England has 20 times the population of BC and it's 7 times smaller.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but like I notice it because in England, like where I'm from especially, like I drive an hour out and I'm in the next big city and I live in the middle of, in air quotes, like buttfuck nowhere, right? So that tells you if you live in the middle of nowhere and it takes you just an hour to get into the city, like
it's
a pretty small place and there's just people everywhere. Like you're never gonna be that isolated there. I don't feel like.
I just feel like I shouldn't say feel. I just wish that there was like a big push to get to make new cities in Canada. To
expand, yeah.
Yeah, like just be like imagine if there was some way the government like offered up a like, I don't know if it would be a word, a stipend or something, where you could go and they would designate new areas where they're building everything, and then you could get a grant or you'd get given like a discount home or a cheap home or something because you move there and you're that specialist. Like so like I don't know, like you and me move to wherever this buttfuck town is, but we're gonna open up a clinic there, and then the government like funds that and gives you a home so that you can open up a new town, which then would like grow and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's no real like call for that in Canada. I don't feel like they have these like super isolated spots where like they'll send people to workplaces, but they're not interested in like developing those places. And I think that's what the problem is. Dude, we should just be prime minister, me and you. We could do a joint first place.
Yeah, and they go like this. They go, but we run separately, so we get double. Like everyone votes, and then we come together as a mega vote.
Yeah, no matter who wins, and we'd like join hands at the podium and be like, we're doing this together. Yeah. And then we'd save Canada. And
we would call ourselves the Canadian Nazis of Canada.
I don't think we would call ourselves that.
Okay, well, we can figure out the name. It doesn't.
Yeah. We'll do some brainstorming. We'll just avoid that, and we'll do some brainstorming.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can work on that part. Yeah. Hey, Neve, what's that you're drinking there? Sapporo, the unofficial sponsor of the podcast, PanCake Friday. What's better than pancakes in the morning? A cold Sapporo.
Do you know why I like this?
Why?
Because it's in Kill Bill.
Oh, really? As the unofficial sponsor of the pod, it's nice to have a fresh Sapporo in the fridge.
In the
fridge. And I enjoy the tall can. I enjoy the flavor as it is a lager, but it has a nice flavor, not a light pissy flavor like it's our
Japanese lager.
Old unofficial sponsor, Corona.
Boo, Corona, boo. You made a virus.
And back to the pod. All right. Wow. That was, boy, do I love Saparu. That was an awesome ad there.
Yeah, good
job.
ads.
Yeah. So you got any story? I guess you haven't even told us, how was the week with Jay?
Oh yeah, so Jay got sent home from daycare on Monday because daycare has this policy that if a baby has like a high temperature, then they just can't be at daycare, which like totally understandable. But at the same time, it's like she was teething and she was struggling with her teeth. Like it's like the back molars, so that's super painful for her and she was having a hard time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like she's not sick. She's not going to pass it on to any of the other kids. But I can't take her back in until her fever's dropped. So I was like dosing her up with Tylenol and Advil. But yeah, she had to take like 2.5 days off.
Yeah, which I get it. Like, I fully get it. But it is just really annoying.
Yeah, and I mean, like, she's gonna come first every single time,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. No, I know,
like,
I know,
when
it's-
that happens. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, now I've got to miss like 2.5 days of work,
Well,
and she's just teething. She's
You
not
know
like,
what I realized is going to be ridiculous?
What?
So, okay. First, once she starts school, she'll just have random days off or days where she finishes early.
Yeah.
And it's just out of nowhere sporadic.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting thing to just have to deal with. Luckily, my job is on weird hours. And
Yeah.
if we really like look into it, I'll be able to like, because I get off at 2.
Yeah.
So she gets off at like 1, I could just skip 1 or something. Like, we'll figure that out. But the one that I was thinking of is, what about the summers? She's just for 2 months got nothing.
Yeah.
So we can put her in camp for a week, but camp costs like $600 or $700.
Yeah.
So you can't just have her in camps for 2 months straight. And then it becomes like, so do you just take off 2 weeks in the summer and that's your vacation every year? But still, that's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely going to be interesting to kind of like figure that out, I guess. I like, it's so weird because parents obviously did that when we were kids, but I just have like no idea how. I think I spent like a few times at like grandparents' house for a week in the summer. What's nice is that we can totally utilize my parents and like
Sunday
ship her off to England,
Yeah,
England for a little bit.
that's true. Yeah, and Grammy will be around too, so she'll be able to hang with her.
She could
But
go to Penticton with her and
yeah,
stuff.
it's, I don't know.
you
It's like, I don't want to take away, because I know there's a lot of people that had to work.
Yeah.
But I just wonder sometimes if it's just it's kind of the times have changed where it's like you just have to have 2 people working now, whereas before it's like,
well, especially here as
like, you
well, like
have
where
to,
we are.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
no.
no way we could not do that.
Yeah, so it was all good. It's just annoying as hell to have to deal with that, because you're like, God damn. And then like,
Yeah,
they don't give you your money back. I know it's not about the money. It's just really annoying that's.
as well, like, and I know like my workplace are like so good and so understanding, but I feel like as well the idea of like at what I was overthinking about when I was off is like, I don't want to be thought of as a liability in my workplace because I'm a mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is like a weird feeling, and like nobody there thinks of me
Especially your
that
boss,
way.
because she's a mom.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And like they understand, they've been through all of that, but at the same time it's just weird because like I'm a really hard, like I've got a really good work ethic. I'm a really hard worker.
Yeah.
So when I like have to take that time off, like it irks me, and I don't want to be viewed as a liability. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is. You just either are or aren't a hard worker, and it's kind of like ingrained in you. Me and Susan were talking about that today, because like I was saying to you, like, I'm just like burnt out this week because the weeks I missed, I've basically been trying to make it all up, blah, blah, blah. And so it just kind of compounds and you get tired. And then Susan, she hurt her wrist. So she ended up taking like it was, I want to say in total almost 2 weeks off, and she was been working hurt even with it all. And I was just talking to her about how like you get so stressed out about it when you miss it, but you have to like try your best not to, because it's kind of irrelevant. Like, there's nothing you can do about it, but it just kind of grates on you and makes you feel anxious and on edge.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is, especially getting a little bit like deeper here, but when you have like, so I have Crohn's disease, right? And because it's a autoimmune disease, it's not like a super visible like thing that like is,
you're not like throwing up or something,
it's like it's not like you're throwing up. It's not like I'm missing a limb and it's like obvious that like there are times when you'll struggle. But I have had it so many times in my life where like I've been having a really hard time, but because people don't see that, they just think you're lazy. And it really, you know how much it irks me when people call me lazy, because I'm like, trust me, I'm really not. But I also understand when like my body needs to take a break.
I do have limitations
like
of it.
Like I do have limitations, and they can go from like, I can be fine one day and then like the next I'm just like so tired and so fatigued and so just like not able to do what I normally am. And people are like, oh, you're just being lazy, you're just like avoiding this. I'm like, no, like seriously, like if I try and continue, I will fucking like collapse right here right now. There's no ifs, whats and buts about it. But yeah, and that's I think why it irks me so much when like I do have to miss a day, especially when it's not for me. I think that's what it was. I think it was because like I know if I'm like sick and I will take that time to rest because I know myself, but when I'm taking time off and like I still feel perfectly like able, like, and I should be there, then that's what's like a weird, it's a weird feeling for me.
I mean,
because I feel like I'm like fucking twiddling my thumbs when I could be being productive.
Well, I mean, you literally are kind of, right? Like you're.
I mean, like to be fair, she was.
She was in a bad way.
She was in a bad way and like needed a lot of like looking after in those couple days. I just kind of like a job in itself, but it's still like, I don't know, it just puts me on edge not being like.
Well, I know you know me, and not moving is never.
Yeah,
a good
I know
sign,
you
so
have.
I get
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
You can relate.
Oh, I can't remember what I was gonna say now. I had one more thing I was gonna say before we got into. Raps.
Oh, our raps of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wanna go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can rap first this time.
Okay, give me 3 words.
3 words? Cider, painting, and bear.
Okay.
Ready?
What's painting and bear?
Cider, painting, bear.
Okay.
Ready?
We got that lone tree cider.
Is that off? I can't do my part. That's the problem.
As soon as I started going, you started speeding up.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn on my phone. Or wait, no, give me your phone.
Okay.
Oh no, my phone's on. This might cut out. Okay. Here, I'm going to just put on some beats.
Back school beats.
Low key beats.
Okay.
Wait. My phone's on. I can navigate it better. What's it called? An instrumental, right?
Yeah, like a R&B instrumental, or rap freestyle instrumental. Rap freestyle instrumental.
Yeah, no, I got one for you.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Got that lone tree cider ain't... Okay. Got that lone tree cider, but it's flavored rhubarb. It ain't pear. Do you know why? 'Cause we might be outside and there could be a bear. And guess what? I ain't hating, but I just did this really sick painting.
Oh, let's go. That was good. That was really good. That was sweet.
I lost it first time around.
I hope that the mics
okay.
picked that up. That was good. Okay, wait. I'm just going to pause it for a sec. I want to see make sure that... All right, we're back. That was perfect. We got it. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, let's go.
You ready for yours?
Well, I need words first.
Oh, wait, yeah. I just started playing the music.
Just some music? Okay, I'll just throw it down.
Okay, words. Frank. Zeus. Cow.
Frank, Zeus, and cow.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me a second here. Yeah. Yeah. The name is Frank the Tank. The name is Frank the Tank. Gonna take you down. Everybody says I'm at the bottom, but I'm at the top of Olympus with my boy Zeus. My boy Zeus. Looking down at those cows on the top of Olympus. It's your boy Frank the Tank and my boy Zeus. Yeah. Yeah. Frank the Tank and my boy Zeus looking down at the cows.
I mean, normally raps rhyme, but I fuck with it.
Yeah, no. We have a new genre of rap where there's no rhyming at all.
I liked it. I would fucking download it.
Holy, I'm not gonna lie. We got a shot now. I'm not saying we're there, but we got a shot. I
think rap game or whatever we choose to call this segment is super fun. It gets us very hyped.
I've enjoyed it so far. I also think we've actually rapped. I'm not saying at all it was like good, but it was better than you expected.
We definitely did it.
Like when you hear that, you would be like, oh, okay, they did something. Whereas normally you'd expect me to be like, poker, let's smoke her, or something like so stupid.
Okay, next step, we start entering freestyle contests, and that's where we become famous.
You got okay. I just want to give you a little tip for yours as a guy that's rapped twice now. Your rhymes are good. Mm-hmm. I like your flow, but you need more like yeah or blah blah, like some of those in your thing. Yeah,
little... Did you ever see that like super viral thing? So in England, like Radio 1 Live Room is like a thing, and if you get on Radio 1 Live Room, then it's like, oh, you've made it kind of thing.
So would it be a thing like if I was a rapper, it's like kind of like all of a sudden I'm on there, it's like, oh, Derek's finally going big or something? Okay,
but
cool.
Did you ever see, I can't remember the name of this dude, but it was like super famous when I was in uni, and he was like, 2 + 2 is 4 - 1, that's 3 quick maths. Every day I'm out on the learn it. No,
I never heard that. Uh-oh, we got a baby down.
Okay,
we got a baby down
cry.
People. You know what, should we do our we
just pause it
now. Okay. All right, and after a little baby rain delay, we are back. I think we're just gonna wrap it up here for tonight, just because baby's babying. We're gonna go with the buy and sell before we let our folks go here.
Yeah.
Your buy or sell. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Your sell of the week was baby cut on her forehead still. Mm. And mine was losing 8 pounds in a day.
That was a sell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you got going on?
My buy of the week was gonna be my first bridal shower.
Nice. That's a
That
very
was
good
a
one.
really, really fun one. Yeah.
Nice. That's a sweet one to do. My buy of the week is gonna be grilling at my soccer game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was just fun to bust it out. It was the first time of the year I know what I have to do differently. Bring everything over before the game starts, and then it's just there. And then after the game, I just set it up because I was literally like tired, chatted, had a beer, then went over. So it's just better to have it there.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing bratwurst again.
No.
Well, no disrespect to bratwurst, but you know what the problem with them is? Once they start cooking, they start and they shoot all the little fat things, and like literally there was like a fire. Like we just had to stand back and wait because I was like, this won't go out. Like if I closed the grill, it just contained it, but it was still just burning. So
do you know what you should do?
What?
With any sausages that you put on the grill?
What?
Stab them with a fork beforehand.
Yeah, it would have helped because that's what happened. They just kind of like
they explode.
But it was just fun to be out doing that, and I look forward, assuming the weather's nice this Saturday, we'll have to do it again because it was just so fun. Like,
yeah, I'm so down for
just
that.
dogs after, and then the game.
Well, no, we won't barbecue after this Saturday because we're going to a barbecue on Saturday.
Well, I'm gonna bring the barbecue because I want to eat in the things. I think the
Double barbecue.
Yeah, double barbecue because the barbecue we're going to, I'm sure there's gonna be food and stuff, but I'm not sure like how much. Whereas I'll need food after soccer, and it'll be earlier in the day and stuff.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. Thanks everybody. That's the 40th episode.
Let's go 40.
Like, subscribe, send to all your friends, and
send nudes.
Send nudes. Oh God, why did I say that? You're not gonna get any nudes. I'm gonna get a ton. And I'm trying to think. If you got any interesting things like you want to come on the show or you like any segments, just please drop a comment. Let us know what's up. 5-star reviews help the show. Bye.
Bye.